Hi, I'm Jason Gray. Are you a financial advisor, interested in being a financial advisor, or just curious about some of the practices that a financial advisor should take? If you said yes, then you're going to want to stay tuned to this book breakdown. Alright, so we are looking at the top 10 common mistakes financial advisors make and simple ideas to avoid them by Howard Lashner. Okay, simple read, but a must read if you're in financial services. Even if you're not the licensed producer, if you support one in any capacity or work around that industry, probably a great book to pick up. And I think some of the tips can be put into practice in any industry, really. So let's look at, out of the 10 mistakes, mistake number 1. Too much jargon, not enough clarity. And then what's the best practice? The best practice is to keep your language and processes very clear and simple. So have you ever been to a doctor's office or maybe worked around technology, and have you paid attention to the words that they use? Does that make you feel comfortable? A lot of times it can make somebody feel overwhelmed and shut down, or get so foggy trying to figure out what that means that they miss the real point or the next point. Okay, so a rule of thumb is working with clients, but also, when you're presenting, how can you be so simple and clear that an 8-year-old would understand it? If you could break the complex down to the simple, some say that makes you a genius. All right, so here's some things to keep in mind. Not keeping it simple will frustrate clients. You want to limit your use of jargon and be prepared to clearly and concisely explain your terminology. Use the story selling technique, telling a simple story that makes it easy for clients to relate and understand. And if you remember in my previous book breakdown of Made to Stick, stories make things very sticky. They help people understand it and, more importantly, remember it. So where can you use stories? Okay. Keep your processes simple. It lowers client frustration, enhances the client experience, and increases your value to your client. And lastly, set your clients up for success. Make working with you a positive experience. Reduce stress points as much as you can. So what other ways can you avoid jargon and keep things simple? That's what you want to analyze in your practice today and make that happen. Okay, common mistake number 2. Building a client relationship on selling a commodity. All right, so the remedy or the simple idea is build a client relationship based on trust. So you're not going in there just saying, this is the very best product, come buy it, and that's it, and like wham bam, thank you ma'am. No. You're getting them to know, like, and trust you. You're figuring out exactly what they need and what they want. You're gonna ask lots of questions, and then you would propose the solution to everything they've told you, okay? So think about these 2 questions. First off, what kind of relationship are you looking for with a financial advisor that you choose to work with? Good client, that's a good question to ask a potential client. The second question, let's say it's 5 years from now and we're working together and I've done a great job for you. You're totally satisfied. Tell me, what exactly have I done for you? So you want to know what their expectations are, because that's where the most frustration becomes, or the uncomfort in reaching back out is not meeting expectations or being clear. So when you know what they want and you can provide it, it's a win-win. Okay, next one. Let's go here. All right, number 3, common mistake number 3. Trying to sell or implement your plan right from the start. So the idea would be learn the client concerns, what they want and what they need, and then deliver. Same thing as I was saying on the last point. If you're basing off of knowing exactly what they want, bringing value, teaching them, and knowing what they need, that's where you're adding value. Because people can come in, use a robo-advisor or these new investment apps, type in some information, and they're going to get some basic recommendations and have access to something at least okay. So why would they pay an advisor fee, or why would they pay extra for a company that uses an advisor? because those advisors are going to go above and beyond, right? They're going to look at the needs. They're going to have knowledge that the people didn't know to ask or to put in that system, and they're going to be able to have that human relation and be able to make things even better, which in the long run is going to bring a lot more value and be worth it. Common mistake number 4, trying to do it all by yourself, and the idea would be to develop an admin staff even if it's just one person. And this is where I'm at with my practice, guys. I have 10 agents and growing, and lots of clients. And so I'm getting to the point where I'm doing it all as pretty much a one-man show from the broker level with my clients and my agents. And I'm getting busy enough that I'd say about 6 months from now, I'm going to be hiring on a part-time admin assistant, and then growing them to full-time, and then potentially several admin assistants in the future. So if you like financial services, if you'd have interest in working 20-ish hours a week, maybe on the side of another job, or that's just you just want a part-time job, let me know below or send me a message or an email, and we can keep you in the hopper for when we're ready to bring somebody on. That's in the Tigard, Oregon area, okay? All right, here's something that's funny. I suggest that you start thinking like a surgeon. Focus on your specialty and let your team handle other tasks. You know, a surgeon isn't checking you in, scheduling the appointment, prepping you when you first get there. No. The team is doing all that. The surgeon's coming in and doing what? Surgery. Okay, so the financial advisor should mainly be doing the advising, right? Meeting with the clients, helping them understand, teaching them, and putting them in the right vehicles to hit their goals and dreams and needs. All right, common mistake number 5. Relying too heavily on high tech instead of high touch. More personalization and less automation. So that's what I was talking about earlier with the robo advisors. It's nice to have technology and other things, but if that's the only access you have, just typing things in a chat bot, calling a 1-800 number, waiting forever, selecting hopefully the right option, then waiting forever, then getting to a customer service rep, that's where automation leaves people. And it's something as important as your financial future and timely decisions and matters. Most people want to be in the hands of someone that can readily communicate with them on their level right away. All right, mistake number 7. Not doing regular customer follow-up. And the idea would be that you create a systematic client follow-up. So I'm curious, for those of you who are advisors or have been one, or somehow you're touching the financial services space, what is your follow-up system? Would love to hear that below. Okay, the book recommends you have a system, and he talks about his. I'll tell you mine, okay? So in my office, we help people with saving money on a bunch of different types of insurances, on getting out of debt faster and saving money there, on helping them arrange their taxes better. Now, we're not tax professionals, but we know how to get them access to the right investment vehicles and aware of taxes, and maybe even connect them to a tax professional so they can save money there. And then take those savings and put that towards their savings and investment strategy to really accumulate wealth over time and hit goals. All right? Why was I telling you this? Let's look back at this real quick. What was the point? Oh, follow-up system. Yes, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that's what we do, all right? Now, all of those things are changing all the time. If you're a 40-year-old couple right now, a 30-year-old couple, 50-year-old couple with kids and a job and a little bit of investments, or whatever you got going on, we can do a great plan for you today and address all those scenarios. But in 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that plan is obsolete. It needs to change with your changing life, okay? So my follow-up is this, and it goes to service as well. After a face-to-face prospective client appointment, a thank you card sent in the mail, okay? I add them to my automation, my databases, where I take notes in CRM. I might put them on some email lists so they get a couple touches via email. But that is not the only thing, and a lot of companies do that or less than that, okay? But I'm calling them every time there's a shift in the market, every time I think of them, at least every 3 months. Now, why so often? Well, they get quarterly statements on their investments, so it's nice to talk and say, hey, here's what we've seen, here's what we're learning, has anything changed on your end? And a lot of them will just go to voicemail. But I hope, and I know that they feel like, wow, my advisor cares because he's constantly on top of things and keeping that relationship alive. And you know what? We're all human. People love to be human. I have clients that love the Portland Trailblazers or love golfing or love table tennis or other stuff. When I talk to, or their kids or church or whatever it is, when I talk to them, I have notes about that. I like to bring up what they like and sincerely ask how those things are going, how the grandkids are, what's new, and learn with them and from them, or cheer them on, or just enjoy the highlights of their life as well. So that's my follow-up system. What's yours, guys? What's worked, what hasn't worked? Because when I was brand new, I didn't have much of a system. I'd wait a year or two before I talked to people, and you'd lose clients sometimes, or clients that could have been doing other things with you because they didn't know or forgot that you did those other services. If you're not first, you're last. First in someone's mind, right? All right, mistake number 8. To get big, focus on big things. Well, the simple idea would be never be too big to do the little things. All right, you can't forget the little things. If you said you're gonna send them an email at 3 o'clock, send them an email. If you're gonna be on time, you have to be on time. If you're going to get them information or follow up, do what you say you're gonna do. Do all the little things and or make sure your team gets them done. It's that important because how you do one thing is how you do everything, and people will view you that way. Mistake number 9, bringing up politics with clients. The idea would be talk economics and avoid politics. Even if your client is strongly sharing openly their political views and you agree with them, don't jump all over that bandwagon. It's going to distract from what they really need to be considering with their time with you. But also, what about if they're going to consider referring you to somebody because you're asking for referrals or you're doing a great job, and that person is the exact opposite in political views? Now they might say, oh, I don't want to connect them because that's going to be a train wreck. So keep politics off the table. And the last mistake, mistake number 10, compounding mistakes by not handling them properly. The idea would be admit it, learn, and don't repeat. Hey, we are all going to make mistakes, small ones. I forgot to send the email. I showed up late, didn't leave early enough. Whatever it was, okay? I misstated an option, the way something works. That's okay. Admit the mistake to yourself, to your team, to your client. Learn from it, and then promise and never repeat it again, okay? That's how you truly learn from it. Guys, I hope this was valuable to you. If you're in my business or you're a financial advisor, definitely pick up this book and read the nitty-gritty on it. It's kind of a how-to guide, and it might help you fine-tune a few things in your practice. Okay, if you like this, please give it the thumbs up. Subscribe for more book breakdowns. I believe the next one is going to be talking about conquering rejection and how that will make you very profitable. I think that's the next one in the hopper. But until next time, guys, join me in the pursuit of greatness.